To have you with us today, and we wanted to give you the opportunity, Longhorn Foundation folks, the backbone of a lot of what happens on the campus of the University of Texas, kind of an inside look as to what goes on with University of Texas athletics. You are indeed, in many respects, the backbone with your generous donations, your contributions, your input that makes it possible for so many outstanding opportunities for our tremendous student athletes across the University of Texas. So we thought we'd give you the opportunity to hear from the two folks who are right at the forefront of what is going on with University of Texas men's and women's athletics. We'd like to welcome to the program University of Texas men's athletics director and also University of Texas women's athletics director Chris Plonsky. First of all, before we get started individually, this is a unique opportunity. I'm sure that both of you probably feel this is something special for some very special people.
Absolutely, Craig. We do appreciate everything that the members of the Longhorn Foundation family do and what they bring to the program every day, every game. It's special to be able to do this, and we hope to do it again. Thank you very much for helping us.
You bet, Chris.
Well, the wonders of technology where we can actually come to you. So we do appreciate the support of all of our donors, our fans, our alumni. And this is particularly great for us to be across campus and collaborating with great partners here in this building and a great little studio.
Mike, let me start with you. For folks who've gotten an opportunity to get to know Mike Perrin, you know he's beginning his first full season as men's athletics director. Although Mike has been around University of Texas athletics for a long, long time, and a man who has experienced it as a student athlete, also as someone who has given generously to the university and in the administrative role as well. Let me get your thoughts, first of all, on now as you begin the first full season. I know you and I used the term whirlwind a lot during the last 11 and a half months or so when this all began for you.
Well, Craig, we sure did, and thank you for your assistance throughout various times of that year. It was special to come back to the University of Texas 50 years to the month after I enrolled as a freshman here in the summer of 1965. And I'm now seeing a lot of things for the second and third time. It's been full cycle. I've got a great staff, great help from Chris, great help from all of our coaches, and I'm really looking forward to kicking off this coming year.
As if on cue, because if we're talking in August, that means obviously we're talking about football season and getting ready for the start of football season. Charlie Strong has the guys going on in camp, and I know you're very, very close to what's been going on with football as well, and I know you're excited about what's going on the practice field that Coach Strong has with his guys.
Craig, it really is exciting to see the energy and excitement of the players, the coaches, all the support staff. I've got to say it didn't start recently, though. In my opinion, the energy and excitement we've got started last year in full bloom on signing day. That was such an exciting day for Charlie's recruiting class to come together. The classmen who were here were in the coaches' conference room as the faxes started coming in with the signatures, and that it has built since then. And in a separate sense, I think maybe the victory over Baylor last year in Waco, the excitement on the field when that game was over, in the locker room, there was a confidence that began to swell with that team as they came together, and with great leadership from 24 juniors and seniors and the influx of talented sophomores and freshmen, it really, you've used the right word, exciting is what it is.
Well, and as a guy who played for Coach Royal, and you can probably speak to this well, because I've asked you about this before, about the 1966 and 67 seasons, especially 67, where it didn't end, or the season in total didn't go the way you wanted to, but you used the springboard to the next year. And Charlie Strong talked about that with his guys. They were excited about the win over Baylor and then disappointed that there wasn't something beyond that. There wasn't a bowl game. And he said, remember that feeling. And I know you probably felt very similarly inclined coming off of 67 going into 68.
The 67-68 transition was an interesting one. We lost the last two games of the 67 season. TCU beat us here. We lost A&M over there. The next year, 68, we had put in the wishbone offense. It wasn't quite clicking. We tied U of H here 20-20. We then lost to Texas Tech out there. So over a four-game span of two seasons, we were 0-3-1. And that's not the way the University of Texas likes to keep track of football progress. But then we played Oklahoma State, beat them, and started the 30-game winning streak that was just a marvelous run for the teams. And that's why I say part of what I feel now started last year. Baylor was a great win. The recruiting season was super. The energy of high school seniors graduating in May and coming here in early June, you can feel it. The excitement, the energy, the freshness, it's there. I really, really am excited about it.
Well, we wanted to make sure to give you a little bit of that freshness, that excitement, that feeling a little bit. Derek Ochoa and the Texas video team created what's known in common parlance these days as the hype video, something that the student athletes got a chance to see when they reported on camp to get ready for the 2016 college football season. Let's take a look.
The reason why you came here for moments like this, it's gonna be a 60-minute battle, and we're gonna be right in the middle of it. It's about playing for your teammates. It's about playing for your family. It's about representing this university. That's what it's all about.
I've been tried, and you know I've been tested.
You're playing because you love the game, and it means something to you.
But I won't back down, no, I'll never surrender.
We know the challenge. Accept it. You don't back away from it. We're the University of Texas.
I've seen the proof, I know the truth. This is what I was made to do. I was born for this. I was born for this.
He's going deep downfield looking for John Brown. He caught it, and he'll shake the tackle. Single to this one. First play from scrimmage.
I get hit and I might start bleeding.
And he fumbles the ball. Texas recovers.
But I'm not on the floor, staring at the ceiling.
Howard's pass is intercepted by Devontae Davis.
I'll give you something to believe in. Have to show you now that it's more than just a feeling. I was born for this. Baby, I was born for this.
Slicing, lost it. Texas has the football. That's the effort Charlie Strong wanted.
Reasonable bounce on the turn, sliding to recover. The Longhorns have it.
Thrown and intercepted. Picked up by Holton Hill. And Holton Hill will take a touchdown.
When you play up to your ability, no one can beat you. No one. Think about that. When I play up to my ability, coach, no one can handle me. So let's go play tonight, and let's go play up to our ability.
Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle, cause you know that I was born for this. I was born for this.
Picked up by Jefferson and a defensive touchdown by Texas.
Swoops lobbing it downfield. Blew it inside the 10. And he is in for the Texas touchdown.
Gerard, 35-30, breaks the tackle. Singular to this one. Touchdown, Texas. Fumble the football. The Longhorns have it. Big Puna Ford. The pass is intercepted, picked off, and the Longhorns have won the football game.
For this, I was born for this. Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle. Get ready for a battle.
Well, the opportunity to take a look at that video also gives you a little bit of a look at some of the playmakers from last year who were expecting to be big-time playmakers for the University of Texas this year. Running backs like Chris Warren and Deontay Foreman, wide receivers like John Burt. Obviously, the quarterback situation, what with Steve Buechele's son, Shane Buechele, joining Tyrone Swoops at quarterback for the University of Texas. And then along the offensive line, Patrick Vahe and Connor Williams. And on the defensive side, Malik Jefferson anchoring that defensive core. So there is a great deal to get excited about. And also, Mike, the excitement of the University of Notre Dame coming to town on the Sunday night of Labor Day weekend to kick off the season. That just kind of adds to it all, doesn't it?
It doesn't get any bigger than that. Texas and Notre Dame are generally seesawing back and forth as the number 2 and number 3 most winning programs in college football. So two storied universities, great football traditions, great coaches, administrators, players through the years, Heisman trophies. It doesn't get any better than that. And Sunday night, we're the only game on TV.
Yeah, that's the excitement also that it goes into that, and the fact that it's a unique opportunity on a national stage on that Sunday night of Labor Day weekend.
Well, it really is. When we first began discussing that some months ago, you had a lot of factors to consider. The schedule had been out for some months. People had made plans. We discussed it in the department thoroughly with the administration, of course, with the Texas X's, other stakeholders, and I've got to say it was received with unanimous high approval. I did not get one single complaint about the game being moved, and the coaches and players are so excited to be the only football game in the country that night. It's a big deal. It really is.
Chris, let me ask you something real quick about this. As close as you've always been as well to how the television networks work with selections as well. On a season opening weekend where you have games like LSU, Wisconsin at Lambeau Field, Alabama and USC in Arlington at AT&T Stadium, and several other ones, Oklahoma and Houston playing at NRG, North Carolina, Georgia in the Georgia Dome. All of those big-time games, but those are all on Saturday, and a chance to have that national stage, that's something I know programs covet, and for networks to make those entreaties, I know means an awful lot.
Well, I think our fans should notice that too, and it's a credit to them as well, because with all of those games on a very unusual opening weekend of the college football schedule, you know, there have been blockbuster weekends to open the schedule, but the amount of games, the number of games, and for the networks and our partners in the Big 12, to select this contest to talk to the institutions about moving to Sunday night. I think Mike spoke very eloquently to the stature of the two universities, the tradition of the programs, and the spark and the electricity that will bring as a sort of a soul show on Sunday night.
Mike, I know there's something else you can speak eloquently to, and that is Bevo, because the brand new Bevo 15 will be unveiled at the Notre Dame game, and folks may say, you know, what's cool about Bevo? What makes him so iconic when it comes to collegiate mascots?
Bevo is probably the most widely recognized single mascot in college athletics, and a great tradition at the University of Texas. This is actually the 100th anniversary of the first Bevo. And to lose Bevo 14, who was such a magnificent animal, so beautiful with the hide, the 84-inch Longhorn span, tragically on short notice last year with his illness and sudden death, really was a blow to the program from the standpoint of losing a great, magnificent symbol who is at the games and at the contest and many other special events. So we describe it internally. This is going to be sort of like a royal birth. We all know it's going to happen. We know when it's going to happen, but we're not showing any pictures or any news until it happens. So Labor Day weekend is going to be big for a lot of reasons, one of which, of course, will be the unveiling of Bevo the 15th.
I also want to ask you very briefly about a couple of the other major men's sports on campus. Basketball getting ready for the second season under Shaka Smart, and a lot of excitement in a huge recruiting class there. And then baseball, you've got a brand new coach. You've hired David Pierce as the brand new baseball coach of the University of Texas.
David is an exceptional coach. I'm so excited to have him join our program and to succeed the great Augie Garrido. Augie's been fantastic during this transition, and we had dinner last week and plan to work together on many projects for the next several years. David and his staff have brought a new energy, Anytime you have a change like that of a storied program like our baseball situation, we've now have the 5th coach in 100 years, and I've known 4 of them, so I don't know what that says about me, but it shows the stability of that program, and the entire process of dealing with our former players, other members of our staff, alums around the state who are so interested in baseball. It's a great program. I've thoroughly enjoyed reconnecting with baseball during the spring. To be at UFCU Disch-Falk Field is just a special place in college baseball. And now to have David and his group come in, they hit the ground running, recruiting. They bring excitement to the program, and our current players have been totally welcoming of David and his staff, and recruiting has gone well. It's just definitely a fun place to be.
Chris, this is now the 26 years being associated with the University of Texas, and of course you've been the women's athletics director since 2001. I can't say as I remember quite a year with the anticipation, which may be on the edge, on the cusp there for University of Texas women's athletics, is what you have from your coaches and student athletes going into this season.
Well, it's true. And Craig, you talk about football, and then we all get energized from football, and every single women's coach would tell you that as well. They kick the year off. It often sets the tone. But we do have all of our fall teams reporting at the same time. So soccer, volleyball, cross country, football are all on campus. But what a lot of people don't realize is 200 young people go to summer school on a typical year. So a lot of our athletes, including incoming freshmen, are in summer school. So they get to work out on reduced schedules, but we have a lot of our teams that are energized, and they've been here through June. Their new season really does start in June.
Yeah, and the leadoff sport, of course, with volleyball being in camp, and you're talking about 4 consecutive trips to the Final Four and coming off a trip to the national championship matchup, and Jared Elliott has another outstanding group ready to go this year.
It really does. To use a baseball analogy, Augie used to say that Omaha is a mandate. Well, in women's volleyball now, Jared Elliott and his staff and his great players over the last 4 years have achieved that. And it does set a bar. This young group, a lot of good returnees, strong, especially at the setter position. We have Chloe Collins as a quarterback. Charlie talks a lot about his leadership. But we're really looking forward to this season. It was actually a surprise last year that we were able to run the table to get to a Big 12 championship and to the ultimate game in the NCAA championship, because we had 2 significant players out. They will both be available this year, and Jarrett's really excited.
Well, how exciting is it going to be for University of Texas volleyball? Let's take a look. We have another one of those garden variety hype videos for you to check out what's to come in 2016. So get ready for that. University of Texas volleyball is just around the corner. Also, and even closer than you might think, University of Texas soccer as well. And Ange Kelly has another group ready to go, coming off a tremendous recruiting season and a great recruiting class going into 2016.
This is the corner-turning fall, as Ange would say. This is she's got a group of young women that they have recruited as a staff. Again, very competitive last year. Had a little trouble scoring. We had a great goalie who blocked everything that came her way, but scoring is essence in soccer, as we can see in the Olympic Games. But we have young talent. It's funny how Mike describes signing day for football, and you just look at the caliber of athlete when they arrive on campus. We were in the weight room with our provost touring her around to our new facility. She came from the University of Virginia, and our soccer team happened to be coming off the practice field into the weight room. And I'm short, I'm 5'3", and I used to look soccer players in the eye. I couldn't look any of our players in the eye. They are tall and long and strong, and we're really excited. We open up Friday. Their season begins very early.
So to get you ready, we take a look at what's to come here with University of Texas Longhorn soccer. Let's take a look. Well, you heard Chris Plonsky mention that soccer begins this Friday night, so get ready for that. Now, as we take a look back at 2015, 2016, let me just throw some numbers at you, Chris. You're probably very familiar with them, but you're talking about your athletic programs having 7 top 5 NCAA championship finishes, 8 Big 12 conference titles with academic highlights, including academic All-Americans as well, and some tremendous players as well, and Big 12 Commissioner's Honor Roll. There's a lot to be excited about overall with University of Texas athletics.
Well, as everybody knows, there's a lot of news right now about the Big 12 conference, its composition, what is it, where is it going, but I promise you those 8 Big 12 titles that our men and women's teams achieved last year, either regular season or postseason, led to our 7 top 5 NCAA finishes. Since the day this league formed, and despite its changes, we always have contended as administrators that if you are good enough to win a Big 12 championship, you are more than likely in the championship hunt at the NCAA level in every sport. And Eddie Reese proved that last year with his men's swimming team. Okay, so we've talked about how this particular form is exciting and it's kind of a technological way for folks to get a glimpse of what's to come athletic for Texas. There's also something else too, and that's the launch of the brand new UT app this week. I know you're excited about that. We're really excited about this. Most of our fans and alumni, students certainly, and faculty staff know of the UT app. You just hit that little Longhorn, well-known Longhorn silhouette. But both campus administration and Texas Athletics collaborated, and you can see the screenshots on a new refurbished app. It'll be far more technologically advanced. We used a great company called Sport Labs, great partnership. This will be very user-friendly, and rather than create a separate app for folks to find athletics information, we said, let's go fish where the fish are. Everybody knows that symbol. They're going to go there for UT information anyway, so we're going to embed all of our information within that app. Now, while this particular forum is designed for Longhorn Foundation members, there's something new as we continue to talk about all of this new, the advent of a new season, the new app, all of those things. There's also something new called the Longhorn Foundation Membership Challenge. I wanted to give you the opportunity to speak to that a little bit. Well, we're recruiting. We're always recruiting. Our coaches recruit. We certainly recruit the best and brightest students on this campus, and we recruit great staff as well. So in the membership challenge, we're asking our own members to cultivate relationships and encourage their friends, family members to join our foundation. For as little as $50, you become a member. You partake of all the information that we can get to you. But at the end of the day, you're really supporting the experience that we provide on a college campus for those 500 young men and women who represent us in competition. Well, we have so many outstanding University of Texas men's and women's student athletes, and they come to you from a lot of different areas as well, and that also gives us the opportunity to take a look at some of the student athletes who are representing their regions as we take a look at this particular video presentation.
Hi, I'm Dylan Haynes, Longhorn representative for Central Texas. Some say Austin is the best city in Texas, and it is. We've got the Capitol, we've got the University of Texas, we've got food trucks, we've got live music, and bats. Join the challenge and become a member of the Longhorn Foundation today. Let's show everyone that Central Texas is the biggest supporter of Texas athletics. Hug 'em.
Hey, I'm Chloe Collins, Longhorn representative of the Gulf Coast region. When Town Lake is just too crowded or the pool isn't cutting it, go ahead and head to the beaches of the Gulf Coast to cool you off. Just like the rest of Texas, we have barbecue and football, but we also have unique flavors of freshly caught seafood from the ocean. What other region can say that? We are also the state leader in technology thanks to the NASA Space Center in Houston. The Gulf Coast is Texas hospitality at its best. So join the challenge to become a member of the Longhorn Foundation today. Let's show everyone that the Gulf Coast region is the biggest and most relaxed supporters of Texas athletics.
Hi, I'm Alex Rogers, Longhorn representative of South Texas. San Antonio is the second largest city in the state, and you know what they say, first is the worst, but second is the best. Other regions may have skylines in football, but do you remember the Alamo, the basis of which our state was founded on? Yeah, we've got that here. The South is also home to the Rio Grande Valley, popular coastal towns, and some of the nation's best parks, hot spots for tourism. Texas pride reigns from the South region, so let's show everyone that we're the biggest supporters of Texas athletics. Join the challenge and become a member of the Longhorn Foundation today.
Hi, I'm Crystal Henderson, Longhorn representative of North Texas. Whether you're in business suits or cowboy boots, we have the best cityscapes in the state. If those city lights are too bright, step into the West. Take dancing lessons at Billy Bob's Honky Tonk and see the West come to life at the Fort Worth Stockyards. Whatever your style, wrangle your Texas pride and join the challenge to become a member of the Longhorn Foundation today. Let's show everyone that the North region is the biggest supporter of Texas athletics. Hook 'em.
Hi, I'm Tiara Davis, Longhorn representative of East Texas. The East has a unique flavor that sets itself apart from the rest of the state. Forget food trucks, we're the real experts at Cajun cooking. Our spices are as hot as our moves on the dance floor at the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame. And if music ain't your thing, we've got the best high school football in all the state. So join the challenge and become a member of the Texas Longhorn Foundation today. Let's show everyone that the East region is the biggest supporters of Texas athletics. Hook 'em.
20 current or former University of Texas student athletes earned their spots on their home country's Olympic teams, and 5 coaches with ties to UT Athletics are also participating in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. And those include Townley Haas and Jack Conger, part of that outstanding swim relay gold medal winning team. And then you have Michelle Carter, won the shot put in the gold. And Joseph Schooling, what an inspiring story for that young man from Singapore who managed to defeat the legendary Michael Phelps to win in the 100 butterfly. Now, so far, the Longhorns have claimed 6 gold medals, including that effort from Joseph Schooling in the 100 fly to beat Phelps, and Michelle Carter as well. So with that as well, we welcome 3 legendary Longhorn Olympians who are here with us today. And that includes Ricky Behrens, who is a 2-time gold medalist, graduated from the University of Texas in fall 2010 with a finance degree. And Troy Dumayuk, who competed in 4 Olympiads from 2000 to 2012, earned a bronze medal in London, a 7-time NCAA champion while competing for the Longhorns, and graduated in 2006 with a kinesiology degree. And Jill Sturkle, who won 2 golds and a bronze in 3 Olympiads. She didn't compete in 1980 because of the Olympic boycott at the peak of her Olympic career, I might add. She also won 16 individual titles with the Longhorns and was part of 2 team titles from 1981 to 1982. And Jill, of course, now co-directs the T Association as well. So it's welcome to all of you. Glad to have you with us. Before we get into talking some specifics about the Olympics, since we're right in the middle of them, I wanted to get the thoughts of each of you. Why Texas? What brought you to the University of Texas? Well, we'll start with you, Ricky.
You know, when I was getting recruited, it was a no-brainer for me. Eddie Reese and Chris Kubik, one of the best coaching duos in the world, if the best coaching duo in the world. And when I was being recruited, it was Ian Crocker, Brendan Hansen, Aaron Pearsall, Neil Walker. It was the entire American world record medley relay. And these were these American studs. And I was just, swimming, we come about once every 4 years. We make it on TV during the Olympics. And so these are the guys that, I looked up to. Those are the guys that I wanted to be in 2008 and 2012. And I got an opportunity to be a part of that training squad and be a part of that and what they have done with Texas. It was the All-American team, and it was a no-brainer. And I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was looking to get away. And now I'm a big old city boy. And first time I came to Texas, I thought there was going to be everybody has cowboy boots and cowboy hats everywhere. So it was my first trip on my recruiting trip, and but I knew I was coming.
Jill, you were kind of on the ground floor of that University of Texas swim gold medal tradition. It was back just a few years prior to Ricky as well. But
just a few.
But I know that even back then, the University of Texas meant something special to you when you arrived on campus.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in Southern California, I had a father who went to USC and a mom who went to UCLA. So I was like thinking maybe I'd find a different place. But seriously, there was probably 3, maybe 4 schools that were putting resources into women's sports at the time. And Texas was one of them. And in all honesty, I would say I probably, you're 16-year-olds, I probably made the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. It's like hitting the jackpot for me. I mean, coming to the University of Texas, having the resources that were available to women athletes, for me at that time was what allowed me to extend my career 4 years. Most women swimmers at that time, when they graduated from high school, their career was done because there really wasn't anything else to do. So I was very fortunate to benefit from Title IX and the opportunity to be on a scholarship and go to a university like the University of Texas. Just an amazing opportunity for me, and it changed the trajectory of my life.
Did it do the same for you, Troy?
Yes, I mean, I've been diving for a while, been at the university for a while, and I can't give the university enough credit. First of all, there's 3 reasons why I came to Texas. I grew up in Ventura, California. I traveled 2.5 hours, each way to practice right after school, drive from Ventura down to LA, and then back, do some homework, get back and do that 7 days a week. I did that for 18 years. I always wanted to be a part of, a big family. And I had a lot of my past and still present friends that were on the dive team and on the swim team that I keep up with. That was number 1. Number 2, the winning tradition. The whole idea of Longhorn pride and the amazing attributes and athletes that have taken part of history. I wanted to be part of an NCAA team. Diving is an individual sport. Now they have synchronized diving, but it's always been an individual sport. I wanted to be a part of a true swimming and diving team to win NCAA titles. And last not but least, academics. We were taught, my parents taught me very, very well. Finish school, get ahead, know what you need to do. And the University of Texas gave me all 3 of those.
Now, I'm going to ask each of you about your Olympic careers, but you have the floor, Troy. So let me start with it. How did you maintain such a long and storied Olympic career?
I think luck, but no, besides that, the support. The University of Texas, we had medical services. We had the weight room here. I had amazing coaches, between Eddie Reese, Chris Kubik, and, Matt Scoggin. We all worked, together, basically tons of athletes have come in and out of here with a smile on their face and, basically a hook 'em when they leave. Texas pride, that was the whole idea. And, just the fact that they took care of me and the ability for me, I'm always a person that wants to give back and to continue the tradition, to almost try to get other people to see what a winning tradition is and how much I love it, bring more athletes, bring more students in here, or student athletes that we say, to excel their careers as well.
Jill, your Olympic career began all the way back in 1976. So I mean, you were so young at that time, and people got a chance to see the sensation that you had become. And then it's very common for folks to ask, was there disappointment when you couldn't go to Moscow in 1980 because of the boycott, when you were pretty much at the peak of your Olympic career, even though you went on and had great things afterwards?
Yeah, I think at the time, I probably didn't totally understand the impact that it would have on my life. And, trying to take whatever you're dealt and then hopefully make it work for you. I think one of the bright things that came out of the boycott, if you can kind of say that, was that myself and other swimmers stayed around another 4 years, which, again, at 1980 was kind of, I was in college. I had, things ahead of me, but to shoot for 84 would put me a year past my graduation here. And so that, again, stretched the boundaries of what was capable or possible. And I think, that was a bright spot for me. It's the whole experience. I think the thing that's hard to tell people, it's like when you come to college, and I think Troy kind of alluded to it a little bit, you sort of roll out of bed and you don't have to walk very far to get to practice. And a lot of people who are doing certain sports have to drive, you're talking carpools, driving, 2 hours, each way. So you have that here. You've got great coaches. You've got an amazing facility. You've got teammates who are in it as deep as you are. And I think when you have that sort of trifecta of all those things happening, it's easy. It's not easy to be great, but it makes it easier to be great. And, I think there's nothing like it. I mean,
how did your championship seasons of 1981 and 82 help prepare you then for Los Angeles in 84?
Well, I think it creates, swimming in college creates a team atmosphere, and swimming typically is an individual sport. When you're going up through the club system, it's very much, you get up and you race. I mean, you're on a team, but they don't create that team points or winning. But then when you step onto the Olympic team, and I think we saw it in just stars across the board this year, how much of a team the 2016 team was. And I think a lot of their success is attributed to that. So learning how to do that in college and being a part of that gives you sort of lays the groundwork to be able to be a great teammate when you are on the Olympic team.
Ricky, when you think about it, you talked about the impact that Eddie Reese and Chris Kubik had on you, on your career. I would imagine that the experiences you had at the University of Texas, when you go through the championship expectation and realization that happens at UT, it does make the path to the Olympics a little more palatable, a little easier to navigate, isn't it? Because of what you experience here.
Definitely. Making the Olympics, no, there's never ever an easy way to get there. But coming to Texas, and it's something, if you were telling me 10, 15 years ago that I was going to go to the Olympics, I'd tell you you were crazy. Truthfully, I never came to Texas thinking that I was going to make an Olympic team. I came here and I wanted to go get my degree. I went to the business school and wanted to graduate with that finance degree. And after my freshman year, I just had a great summer, and I was a great swimmer and everything, but it never really occurred to me that I was going to be on a path to make the Olympics and do that. And in 2008, I did, and it's not even just swimming. When you're at the Olympics, we're walking around the Olympic Village, and you got Augie with baseball, you got all the track team, Trey Hardy and Sonia, and you're seeing, it's not swimming, but you're seeing how much Texas focuses on these Olympic sports. And really, you come here at Texas, and all these sports we have, it's so valuable, and just being in that environment. And for us, there were 7 former Longhorns on that team in 2008, and there were 8 that were training with us. And I was the rookie. I was 20 years old, and actually David Walters, my roommate and good friend of mine, he was there, same relay and everything. But we were there with a bunch of our teammates who had been there before. And so when you talk about preparation, the impact, really what made it was those older guys leading us in that direction. And so Eddie and Chris, they've been there for forever, they did it, but we had like these older brothers taking care of us. And when we were goofing around, when we were being the typical college kid, there were only 4 of us on the entire team. They were making sure we were going down the right path, making sure we were behaving, making sure we were focused. And because in my role, I was swimming the 800 free relay with Michael Phelps. And if I had screwed that up, it would have been real bad. And so basically those guys were looking after me and making sure I was doing everything I could to make sure Phelps was coming home with 8 gold medals, and I wasn't going to hurt that.
Now you brought up Trey Hardy and Sonia Richards-Ross, each of whom have been Olympiads as well. They're both working as television commentators for NBC. Could you guys see yourselves working Olympics and television, Jill?
No, I think my mouth would probably be a little too loose to be a commentator. It's like there's just an emotion, and just watching it at home with my son when Simone hit the wall. I mean, I lost it, so there's no way. I don't think I could do it.
It's not like Rowdy Gaines is the model of
well,
composure.
That's true,
you understand. You understand that as well. I mean, could you guys see yourselves at Troy? Could you see yourself working in television?
Yeah, I could. It's again what Jill brought up. It's the enthusiasm. I know diving. I've been there. I did it for 33 years. I went through amazing ups and downs and a roller coaster ride, and being able to watch it and continue and give back and see what the future holds within the sport while commentating, but just being there and being a part of just the atmosphere. I would love to do something like that.
Well, and Ricky, it'd probably be even easier for you to do television while you still had former teammates who were still competing, like a Michael Phelps, right?
It'd be a ton of fun to talk about all those experiences and everything. And I was a bigger fan of swimming than I was an athlete and competitor and everything. Like, I just enjoy the sport so much. I'd love to talk about it and love to do races and everything. And I was actually talking to Trey Hardy before he was going out there, and he's like, I was doing Olympic trials and it's hard. He's like, I got one guy talking to my left ear, one guy in the right ear telling me what to do while I'm trying to process everything going out on the track. So I know how hard it is a little bit, and so more power to you guys.
All right, let me put each of you on the spot here. I'll ask you for your favorite University of Texas swimming and diving memory, your favorite UT memory, and your favorite Olympic memory. Let me start with you, Troy.
Winning our first team national championship was jumping in the pool, with the whole team, brotherhood, family, coaches including. All of our hard work paid off because in 1999 we came up short, got third, but in 2000 we pulled it off. Luckily, this is the year of the Olympics, so we took that energy into the Olympics. But by far, that is my Longhorn memory.
How about Olympics? There's so many for you.
Do you know what? Every Olympics had its own memory. 2000 was phenomenal. My coach that taught me everything I knew when I was a little kid was our manager. 2004, Justin, my older brother that transferred from USC to come to Texas, train with me. We went to the Olympics together. 2008, it was a learning experience because I just missed a dive to cost me a medal. And then, of course, in 2012, getting that medal and just, going through what I've always dreamt of, being. So everyone has had its moments.
Jill?
When you said UT memory, probably the first thing that came to mind was in my freshman year. We had NC2As, back then it was called AIW, in Las Vegas. We went into the night 50 points down. And, Stanford was the team that was ahead, and they came out wearing shirts kind of proclaiming their national championship. And little by little each night as events went on, we kept winning and kind of closing the gap, and it came down to the relay and we were like 6 points down. But watching them have to go to the locker room and change their shirts was probably it was a very proudful moment. We ended up getting second at the meet, but it was nice to at least scare them. Olympics, it's hard not to say the 76 relay that won the gold, just because it was such a huge, unexpected win, and for a lot of reasons, it's very emotional. But I would also say in 1988, to make the team the way I made it was via disqualification, and then to go there and to finally earn an individual medal. Kind of what Troy was talking about, a bronze in the 50 free. That was pretty special too. So those would be better too.
Ricky, how about your thoughts, your favorite UT memory in the pool, and then also as an Olympian?
Texas, it's winning a national championship my senior year. We worked so hard for that, and people always ask me, what was more special, winning an Olympic gold medal or winning a national championship at Texas? And truthfully, I say Texas, win a national championship, because when I came to Texas, it's very rare that a class comes through without winning a national championship at Texas swimming. Very rare. And so freshman year, we were supposed to win. We were ranked #1 the entire year. We got 5th, which never happens with Eddie, outside top 5. Sophomore year, we were supposed to win. We got 2nd. Junior year, we were supposed to win. We got 2nd. And coming here, we're at senior year, and we're just like, this can't be happening right now. And so we worked so hard for that national championship. And 2 days before national championship starts, our best sprinter gets the flu, gets sick. We thought it was just something he ate. The next night, I got sick. My roommate got sick, who was backstroke butterflyer. Best breaststroker got sick. Our best diver got sick. Head coach Eddie Reese got sick. And we got someone on the plane. All the people on our team, then Stanford and Arizona had people got sick. So they actually delayed the meet for a whole day because it was so bad. And we kind of went in there expecting we were going to win, ready to crush it and everything. We all got sick. We're like, what is happening right now? This can't be happening. And we're like, we're not going to let it happen. We talked about Michael Jordan's when he had the flu in the NBA championship and stuff. We can fight through it. And that whole meet, we fought through it. We were kind of down going into the very last day with Cal, and just had an incredible last day, and ended up winning. And to be able to work through all that and jump into the pool, which is just one of the epic things that we do with the Texas Swimmers, and be able to celebrate that moment with so many of your best friends and this brotherhood and this family that you had was just incredible. And then the Olympics, I mean, the entire experience is one incredible memory. From Olympic trials of making that team, that celebration, and I was walking around the pool deck with a roommate who just qualified 5th right behind me for the 800 freestyle relay, David Walters, and to experience that. And I just remember, to this day in 2008, we were gonna win. We ended up winning by 5 seconds our relay, and just seeing Peter Vanderkay coming into the wall and seeing us up on the Jumbotron, just thinking to myself, I'm about to be an Olympic gold medalist. And you get chills, and then you stand on the podium and you see your family in the stands just bawling and giving them hugs, and the whole experience is just incredible.
I wanted to give all three of you an opportunity to talk a little bit about what Texas donor support means to student athletes at UT, how important it is. The layman's view might be from the outside, well, folks give to the athletic department, but how much do the student athletes really know about that? They've got their head down in their book in class, and then they're off to the pool, or they're off to the court, or they're off to the field, or whatever. But I know you guys have been aware of it. I know you're appreciative of it, but I wanted to give each of you an opportunity to talk a little bit about what it means. Troy, let me start with you.
Well, basically what it means to me, being that I was able to continue diving, it gave me, the opportunity not just to train, not just, to compete, but also to be on campus, work, and see all the changes, see all the help and support that I got in college, that I received, seeing it going to the future student athletes. And I mean, it's an amazing feat. Without them, we couldn't do anything. It's very easy just to say, hey, well, UT football, UT basketball, baseball, I mean, they have a lot of money. Well, there's a lot of sports out there that don't. And these donors and donations, fuel, all of our other sports into these Olympics. Not every Olympic sport is well funded. And, I got to put a Speedo on each and every day, knowing that the pool was going to be there. I had the opportunity to, dive in there. My coach was going to be paid, and, I wouldn't have it without them. I wouldn't have this medal without, all the support from the University of Texas family, donors included.
Ricky, let me get your thoughts on it.
As an Olympic athlete, I think Olympic athletes understand the importance of support. As we train, we're very lucky to be able to come train here at University of Texas, but as an Olympic athlete, there's a lot of them that don't have the resources that we have. And they're working part-time jobs, full-time jobs to try to be the best in the world. And they're surviving off, a lot of donations and support. And so we come to this school, we understand that we aren't filling the stands with 100,000 people, as awesome as that would be. We understand and value that donor support. And we walk in that pool every single day, and you see the faces of the freshmen and the kids, the recruits coming in, and they look at that and they're just like, this is incredible. And then you take it through the facilities and academics and all that, and they get it, and they understand how special it is, because when you're going through high school and all that, the Olympic sports don't get all the quality and all that. And so you're training, with the best of the best, and you're getting the resources you need. And they really value that, and they take advantage of that. And I know, coming to the University of Texas, you come here for so many reasons, and a lot of that is the support that you get every single day from your coaches, from donors, from academics. You get the full package, and that's what it means.
Jill, you have the final word here on what it does mean, the importance of Texas donors and donors to the success of University of Texas athletics.
Yeah, I mean, quite simply, none of this is possible without the donors. Yes, we do make money with some sports, but for, they've alluded to, I would not have had the opportunity to continue my career, get a degree from the University of Texas, and move on with my life, and then continue swimming even after that. It's hard to express. Growing up, your parents kind of are taking care of you. They're making ends meet to make your dream come true. You go to the collegiate scene, and it gets a little bit easier. Typically, and not all, I would say, Olympic athletes are on a full scholarship. They're on partials. You got to work your way to where you're at, but you get the facilities, you get the coaching, you get things are in place to help you succeed. And in all honesty, without it, Olympic sports really probably don't survive. I mean, you look at most of the Olympians now are older. I mean, I think in general you're seeing the age, especially of the women, but even of the men, get older and older. And without it, it's just not possible. It's just, we thank you. And we probably don't say it enough. And I think a lot of times, even as a freshman coming in, I didn't understand it. It was just like, oh, this is great. As you look back on it, you're like, wow, how lucky am I? I mean, and I was like, I won the lottery, and not in terms of, winning $1 million, but to have access and opportunity for me was winning the lottery. And, plain and simple.
Jill, Troy, Ricky, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your contributions. We appreciate your expertise as well. Thanks for that. And we do thank you for joining us. We thank you for your support. We thank you for your contributions as well to making University of Texas athletics the great endeavor that it is. And we thank you for joining us for this inside look at Texas athletics.